Before I begin my formal remarks, I want to take a moment to address the violence that continues to plague Chicago and other major cities across the country. And I want to specifically speak to the victims and survivors. I want you to know that we are doing absolutely everything that we can to stem the violence. I've met with many of you, and I've heard your pain and anguish. And I carry that with me, and your suffering feels my daily urgency to use every tool that I have and to urge every stakeholder, from the President of the United States on down, to local, county, and state and federal officials. We must do better, all of us, for you. I know that sometimes in the press coverage and the daily conversations, the experience, your experience as victims and survivors, and your pain is too often ignored. I promise you that I see you, that I hear you, and that I feel you. You will never be lost to me. There is more that we can do and must do for victims, witnesses, and survivors. And I'll be making a specific announcement on that in the coming days. But I wanted to take this opportunity to make sure that as we're talking about an important issue of our time, that we not forget the victims, the survivors, and the witnesses. And let me say this to the general population. Residents of Chicago, we must rally around our neighbors who are living in areas of our city that are under siege by violence. We can't ignore them. We can't forget them. We can't just think, ever for the grace of God go I. We all have a responsibility, all of us. Not just a mayor, not just a department, all of us have a responsibility. And in particular, we must hold our neighbors in our hearts, our minds, and our prayers. But I'm also believe that we have to do more. We must continue to urge our young people to put down the guns. We have to love them. And tonight and today is about love. It's about making specific investments in our young people, to show them that we care, to give them real opportunities. But I'm also old school and believe what my mother taught me, which is we love them, but we also must hold them accountable. We must also show them the way to a different kind of life by setting the example, by giving them real opportunities that they can grasp in their hand and choose to take a different path. Love and support and accountability. That's what we must be about when we think about our young people in the city. We're living through a very difficult time. There's no question about it. But there's also joy and happiness that's here as well, and we can't forget about that. So with that, I want to shift to the reason that we're all here, which is to mark two important investments in our city, present and future, and in particular, our young people. And that's this world-class Gately track and field site and a new state-of-the-art facility for after-school matters.